Chosen one, God is waiting for your response right now, not later, not when life becomes easier, not when every question has an answer, right now. You are not here by accident. Something higher than your own planning has guided you into this moment, because heaven has already been speaking to you in ways you cannot keep dismissing. You asked for signs, and signs came. You asked for confirmation, and confirmation came. You asked God to make the path clearer, and the same instruction kept returning through prayer, silence, scripture, memory, and the quiet knowing you tried to push away. This warning is not here to shame you. It is here to wake the part of you that already knows the truth. God is not asking for a perfect response. He is asking for an honest one, a yes, a no, a release, a boundary, a surrender, a step. Do not keep calling it waiting if God has already shown you what to do. Do not keep asking for another sign if the instruction has already been planted. The door is not closed. The handle is on your side. And before this message is finished, you will know the response God has been waiting to hear from you. Not because someone forces it from your mouth, not because fear pushes you forward, but because something inside your spirit will finally stop running from what it already knows. This is not a casual word. This is not a soft little comfort for a tired day. This is a holy interruption. And if your heart is already beating a little differently, pay attention to that. Not every stirring is fear. Sometimes it is recognition. Sometimes it is the sound of your soul remembering the voice it tried to ignore. There is a reason this message feels personal. God knows the exact place where you have been standing. He knows the decision you keep walking around. He knows the door you keep looking at while telling yourself you are still waiting for permission. He knows the prayer that keeps leaving your lips, even though the answer has already touched your heart. Chosen one, the warning is not that God has stopped loving you. The warning is that love has been speaking, and you have been asking it to repeat itself again and again. Love can be patient. Love can be gentle. Love can give space. But love can also say, this moment matters, and you cannot sleep through it. Many people hear the word warning and think of punishment. They imagine anger. They imagine rejection. They imagine God standing far away with a closed face and a raised hand. But that is not what this is. In the hands of the Father, a warning is often protection before pain has permission to grow. Think of a child walking toward the road. The parent does not call the child back because the child is hated. The parent calls because danger is close. The voice may sound firm, but the heart behind it is love. The urgency does not cancel the tenderness. It proves the tenderness is awake. God is not warning you because He wants to crush you. He is warning you because your calling matters. Your direction matters. Your inner agreement matters. The next version of your life cannot be built on delayed obedience and quiet resistance. Something in you must answer. Something in you must become available. You may have thought the delay was proof that heaven was still deciding. You may have thought the silence meant God had stepped back. You may have thought the closed feeling around your life meant nothing was ready yet. But there are seasons where the delay is not on heaven's side. There are seasons where the door waits because the answer has not been given. This is not condemnation. Hear that clearly. This is not God saying, you are too late. This is not God saying, you failed beyond repair. This is not God saying, the door has vanished. This is God drawing your attention to the place where your response and your future are standing face to face. Chosen one. There is a kind of waiting that is holy. It trains patience. It deepens trust. It teaches the soul to stay steady when the promise takes longer than expected. But there is another kind of waiting that looks spiritual from the outside, while fear sits quietly underneath it. Holy waiting says, Father, I trust your timing. Fearful waiting says, I will obey when obedience no longer costs me anything. Holy waiting keeps the heart soft. Fearful waiting builds reasons. Holy waiting listens. Fearful waiting keeps asking for another sign, so it does not have to answer the sign already received. That is where many chosen ones get caught. They are not careless people. They are not shallow people. They love God. They want to do what is right. But they have been hurt before, and pain can make obedience feel dangerous, especially when the next step threatens the life they learned to survive inside. You may not be rebelling loudly. You may be hesitating quietly. You may still be praying. You may still be asking. You may still be doing the good things people can see. But in the secret place, there is one instruction you keep placing back on the shelf. It keeps coming down. You keep putting it away. This is the place where the warning becomes mercy. God is not asking you to pretend the cost is small. He knows the cost. He knows what obedience may change. He knows who may misunderstand. He knows what may have to end. He knows the comfort you may lose when you finally stop bargaining with the truth. But he also knows what delay is doing to you. Delay has a weight. It sits in the chest of the soul. It makes prayer feel cloudy. It makes small choices feel heavy. It makes the future feel far away, not because God has moved the future, but because the present has not been answered with truth. There are signs that God may already have spoken. You do not need to force them. You do not need to invent them. You only need to tell the truth about what keeps repeating. The first sign is simple. The same instruction keeps returning in different forms. It comes through prayer. It comes through quiet conviction. It comes through a sentence someone says without knowing why it lands so deeply. The second sign is that you keep needing one more confirmation, one more dream, one more open door, one more feeling, one more person to say what your spirit already knows. And every time confirmation comes, you feel peace for a moment, then fear rises again and asks for another witness. The third sign is that you feel peace about the step, but fear about the cost. That distinction matters. Peace does not always remove trembling. Peace does not always make the road easy. Sometimes peace is the quiet center beneath the shaking, the deep knowing that this is right, even while your hands still feel unsteady. The fourth sign is that the thing you avoid is the thing that keeps appearing. You try to think about something else. It comes back. You try to call it a random thought. It comes back. You try to bury it under busyness, but when the noise gets quiet, there it is again, patient and waiting. The fifth sign is that you have been waiting to feel ready, but readiness may not arrive before obedience. Some steps create readiness after you take them. Some doors reveal strength only when you reach for the handle. Some answers become clear only when your yes stops being theory and becomes movement. Chosen one, you asked for clarity. You asked for signs. You asked for peace. You asked for the road to stop feeling hidden. And God, in his patience, kept bringing the same truth near enough for you to recognize it, not to trap you, not to expose you, to invite you. There is a question under all of this. What if God has not been silent? What if the real silence is the answer you have not given him yet? Sit with that. Do not rush past it. Some of you have been calling heaven quiet, while your own spirit has been holding back the one word that would bring the next movement into agreement. This does not mean every thought is God. This does not mean every pressure is holy. This does not mean every urgent feeling should be obeyed. God does not need panic to prove authority. His voice does not bully the soul. His correction may be firm, but it carries clean conviction, not dirty shame. Clean conviction says, come closer and tell the truth. Shame says, hide because you are too far gone. Clean conviction points to a step. Shame attacks your identity. Clean conviction brings you back to God. Shame makes you afraid to be seen by him. This warning carries conviction, not shame. That is why you can keep listening without fear. The Father is not standing over you with a threat. He is standing before you with a door. He is showing you that the handle is not on the outside. It is not in the hands of the people who misunderstood you. It is not in the hands of the season that wounded you. It is on your side. And this is where the heart must become honest. Some of you are not confused. You are grieving the version of life that obedience will not allow you to keep. You are not waiting for direction. You are mourning the comfort that will end when you finally say what God has been asking you to say. That grief does not make you weak. It makes you human. God does not despise the trembling of his children. He understands the fear of change. He understands the ache of release. He understands what it means to ask for surrender from someone who has survived by holding things tightly. But compassion does not mean God will bless every delay. There is a tenderness that comforts, and there is a tenderness that calls you forward. There is a mercy that covers, and there is a mercy that corrects. There is a love that waits, and there is a love that finally says, "Chosen one, answer me." I hear the Father saying, "I have been waiting for your yes, not because I am impatient, but because your next door cannot open without your agreement." Let that land softly. Let it land without fear. God is not asking for a performance. He is asking for partnership. There is a deep difference between being forced and being invited. God does not need to force the one he formed. He calls, he draws, he repeats, he confirms. He waits at the threshold, not because he is powerless, but because love does not build covenant without response. This is why your answer matters. Your response is not a small thing. It is not just a word floating into the air. It is agreement. It tells your fear that it is no longer the leader. It tells your past that it is no longer the pattern. It tells your future that you are willing to meet it with truth. For some of you, the response is yes. Yes to the assignment. Yes to the healing. Yes to the private discipline. Yes to the step you keep postponing because it feels too small to matter. But small obedience is not small in the spirit. A small yes can become a doorway. For some of you, the response is no. No to the cycle. No to the person who keeps pulling you out of alignment. No to the habit that numbs the conviction. No to the old access point that keeps reopening the wound. A holy no can be just as obedient as a yes. For others, the response is release. Release the outcome. Release the timeline. Release the need to make everyone understand. Release the version of the story where you control every result before you trust the next step. Release is not losing. Release is returning control to the hands that never dropped you. This is why the warning cannot be skipped inside your own soul. Not because one message controls your life, not because missing a sentence ruins your destiny, but because repeated truth trains the heart. If you keep ignoring truth, the heart learns to sleep around it. If you keep answering truth, the heart becomes awake. And God is calling you awake, not anxious, not frantic, awake. Awake enough to notice what keeps returning. Awake enough to name what you have avoided. Awake enough to stop decorating delay with spiritual words. Awake enough to bring God an answer that is not polished, but true. There is an old picture that belongs here. A young Samuel hears a voice in the night. He does not understand at first. He thinks the voice belongs somewhere else. He runs to the wrong place because he has not yet learned how to recognize the call. But the call comes again. That detail matters. God did not despise Samuel's first confusion. He did not withdraw because Samuel needed help recognizing the voice. The call returned. The invitation remained. And when Samuel finally understood, the response was simple. Speak, for your servant is listening." Chosen one, Samuel did not need a stage. He did not need a perfect vocabulary. He did not need a crowd to validate what was happening in the dark. He needed availability. He needed a posture that said, "I am here. I am listening. I am willing to receive what you are saying." Maybe that is the response God is waiting for from you. Not a dramatic vow, not an emotional display, not a promise to become someone overnight. Maybe the first response is honest availability. "Father, I am here. I have been afraid. I have been delaying. But I am listening." There is power in that kind of prayer. It does not pretend. It does not hide. It does not dress fear in religious language. It comes close with trembling hands and tells the truth. God can work with that. God can breathe on that. God can lead the person who stops pretending they do not hear. The reason this matters so much is that your next season may require a cleaner agreement than your last one. You cannot carry every old hesitation into a new assignment. You cannot keep asking for open doors while refusing the instruction that prepares you to walk through them. The door is mercy, but the response is maturity. Many chosen ones love the idea of being chosen, but struggle with the cost of being available. Chosen does not mean untouched by process. Chosen does not mean excused from surrender. Chosen does not mean God will open every door while you hold tightly to every old pattern. Chosen means called with purpose. Chosen means formed through process. Chosen means loved too deeply to be left asleep. Chosen means God sees not only who you are, but who you must become to carry what He placed inside you. That is why this warning is tender and serious at the same time. The Father is not trying to take your life away from you. He is trying to give you back the life that fear has been slowly taking. Fear takes quietly. It takes your clarity. It takes your voice. It takes your courage. It takes your ability to move when God speaks. Then fear calls itself wisdom. It says, "Be careful." It says, "Wait longer." It says, "Do not risk being misunderstood." It says, "Protect yourself from every cost." And sometimes caution is wise, but sometimes caution becomes a cage with spiritual language painted on the walls. God is not asking you to be reckless. He is not asking you to ignore wisdom. He is not asking you to abandon counsel or move in panic. The response He waits for will not require you to betray peace. It will require you to stop confusing peace with comfort. Comfort says, "Nothing should change." Peace says, "God is with me while this changes." Comfort says, "Everyone must approve." Peace says, "Obedience may be misunderstood, but I am not alone." Comfort says, "I need to feel ready." Peace says, "I can take the next step while still learning courage." That is the difference. And deep down, many of you already feel it. You know the instruction that brings clean peace and holy fear at the same time. You know the step that scares your old self, but strengthens the part of you that still believes God is faithful. Do not shame yourself for needing time. God has been patient with you, but do not worship the need for time. Do not build a home in the hallway and call it humility. Do not let the place meant to prepare you become the place where you refuse to move. The hallway has served its purpose. The waiting taught you things. The silence showed you what was inside you. The closed doors revealed what you were depending on. The lonely season stripped away voices that could not go where God is calling you. But the hallway is not the promise. The preparation is not the destination. The lesson is not the final word. There comes a moment when the same God who comforted you in waiting calls you into response. This is that kind of moment for someone listening right now. Do not force the answer. Do not perform it. Do not write a yes with your mouth while your heart is still lying. Bring the real answer to God. Bring the fear. Bring the resistance. Bring the grief. Bring the honest sentence you have been avoiding. If the response is yes, let it be true. If the response is no, let it be clean. If the response is release, let it be surrendered. God is not impressed by spiritual noise. He receives truth. He works with truth. He heals in truth. He leads through truth. This is where the first part of the warning settles. God is waiting, but He is not waiting to condemn you. He is waiting to meet your agreement. He is waiting for the part of you that has been divided to come back into one clean place before Him. The door is still there. The Father has not left the threshold. The instruction has not vanished because you were afraid. But fear cannot be allowed to hold the handle forever. At some point, the hand that trembles must still reach. At some point, the answer must become more than a thought. And beneath all of this, there is a deeper question waiting to rise. What part of you is afraid to touch the handle? Not the surface answer, not the explanation you give to people, the real one, the hidden one, the part of you that knows obedience will change more than your schedule. That is where the next truth begins. Because sometimes the response is not delayed because you do not love God. Sometimes it is delayed because a part of you is still trying to protect the life God is asking you to outgrow. Sometimes the response is not delayed because you do not love God. Sometimes it is delayed because a hidden part of you is still trying to protect the life God is asking you to outgrow. Chosen one, that is not a small truth. That is the place where many people lose years while still calling themselves patient. God knows the difference between holy waiting and fear dressed in careful words. He knows when you are seeking wisdom. He also knows when you are using wisdom language to keep from moving. This is not said to shame you. It is said to bring light to the place where your soul has been negotiating. The first reason many chosen ones delay their response is fear of consequence. You know the step may change something. You know obedience may shift a relationship. You know one honest answer may close a door that gave you comfort, even if that comfort was quietly draining your spirit. That fear is real. God does not mock it. He does not look at your trembling and call you weak. He sees the history behind it. He sees the wounds that taught you to protect yourself. He sees the moments when moving forward cost you more than people ever understood. But fear becomes dangerous when it becomes the voice you obey most often. It starts as protection. Then it becomes a prison. It says, "Not yet." It says, "Wait until no one is upset." It says, "Wait until the risk disappears." But obedience often begins while risk is still standing nearby. The second reason is addiction to certainty. You want a full map before you take one step. You want the end explained before the beginning is obeyed. You want God to show you every turn, every conversation, every possible reaction, and every hidden cost before you give Him your yes. But the Father often gives a lamp, not a floodlight. He gives enough light for the next step. He gives enough peace for the next act of trust. He does not always give enough information for the old self to feel in control, because control would keep taking credit for faith. That is why your heart can feel both peace and trembling. Peace does not always mean easy. Peace means God is present beneath the shaking. Peace means there is a clean center inside the hard thing. Peace means the instruction carries life, even if the cost still makes your hands unsteady. The third reason is identity protection. There is a version of you that has learned how to survive by delaying. That version knows how to wait, analyze, overthink, pray again, ask again, and stay near the door without touching the handle. It feels safe because nothing has to change. But God is not only calling you to do something, He is calling you to become someone. That is why the response matters so much. A yes can birth a new self. A no can protect a new self. A release can free a new self from old agreements. Chosen one, this is where the diagnosis becomes holy. You are not only deciding what to do, you are deciding which version of you gets to lead. The old self asks for more proof. The becoming self asks for grace to obey what has already been made clear. God has patience for your process. He has mercy for your fear. He has room for your questions. But his patience is not the same as permission to keep protecting what he is trying to heal. There comes a moment when the question changes. The question is no longer, God, are you speaking? The question becomes, chosen one, why are you still waiting to answer? Not with a loud answer, not with a perfect answer. A real one, a clean one, an answer that stops hiding behind spiritual delay. What felt like discernment may be fear in a careful voice. What felt like humility may be unworthiness wearing gentle clothing. What felt like patience may be avoidance with holy language. What felt like waiting may be resistance to becoming. This is why God is waiting for your answer, not because he lacks power, not because heaven is stuck, not because your future is fragile. God waits because covenant includes response. Love invites, love calls, love gives room for agreement. God does not build your life with your mouth closed and your heart hidden. You may ask, why would God wait? Why would he not simply move the thing without my response? Because the door ahead is not only about provision, it is about partnership. It is about formation. It is about teaching your soul to stop living as if fear has final authority. Some blessings require capacity. Some assignments require agreement. Some doors require a person who has stopped arguing with the preparation. God can open what no one can shut, but he will not force you to become available while you are still clinging to the identity that keeps refusing his voice. This is where many people misunderstand delay. They think delay always means God is withholding. Sometimes it does. Sometimes he is protecting timing. Sometimes he is preparing the room. Sometimes he is arranging what you cannot see. But sometimes delay remains because the response has not yet become honest. There is a difference between God preparing a place and you postponing obedience. There is a difference between waiting on God and making God wait while you rename fear as caution. There is a difference between needing counsel and needing another person to give you permission to ignore what God already showed you. Chosen one, the Father is not cruel. He knows you need confirmation. He knows you need peace. He knows you need wise counsel. But repeated confirmation has a purpose. It is meant to strengthen response. It is not meant to become a place where your courage goes to sleep. Truth honors truth. Some of you are not delaying because you do not love God. You are delaying because your mind has been trained into noise. The world has pulled your attention in 1,000 directions, and the clear, childlike place inside you has been buried under pressure, exhaustion, and mental fog. There are chosen ones who can hear God in the deep place, but their thoughts feel scattered at the surface. They wake up heavy. They start one thing and drift to another. They know there is a simple answer somewhere inside them, but noise keeps crowding the room before that answer can rise. Later, there is a simple support I will name for those who need help returning to clear, childlike focus. It is only 8 minutes a day, and it is connected to whole brain activation, not complicated ritual or spiritual performance. If your spirit does not confirm it, leave it. The message itself is enough. The tool is not the answer God is waiting for. Your response is still your response. But sometimes support helps the mind become quiet enough to stop running in circles. Sometimes clarity needs room. Sometimes the soul already knows, but the mind needs help becoming still enough to agree. The deeper truth remains. God is waiting for availability. There is an old word that carries this posture, hineni. It does not only mean a body is present in a place. It carries the feeling of readiness. It means, here I am. It means, I am available. It means, I am not hiding from the call. That is the word beneath Samuel. That is the word beneath every trembling servant who hears something greater than comfort. It is not a word of performance. It is a word of surrender. It does not say, I understand everything. It says, I am here before you. Hineni is not noise. It is not a speech. It is not a polished promise made for people to admire. It is the posture of a soul that stops stepping backward. It is the moment the hidden places come into the light and say, Father, I do not have every answer, but I am no longer unavailable. Maybe that is the response God has been waiting for. Not a dramatic vow, not a public display, not a sentence that makes you sound strong. Maybe the response is this simple. Here I am. I am afraid, but here I am. I do not know the whole road, but here I am. There is a holy strength in that. It breaks the power of delay. It tells fear that it can ride in the car, but it cannot hold the wheel. It tells the old self that it is no longer allowed to use confusion as a hiding place. The root cause is control disguised as spiritual maturity. Control says, I will respond when I know the outcome. Trust says, I will respond because I know the one who asked. Control wants the promise without the process. Trust lets God choose the order. Control can sound very wise. It can quote patience. It can speak about timing. It can ask for counsel again and again. But underneath, control is often trying to make obedience painless. It wants a version of surrender where nothing actually has to be placed on the altar. God is not against wisdom. He is wisdom. God is not against counsel. He often uses counsel. God is not against timing. He created seasons. But when wisdom becomes a wall against obedience, it is no longer wisdom. It has become fear with better language. Chosen one, this is why the response must become concrete. Surrender cannot remain a beautiful idea. A yes must eventually move your feet. A no must eventually close access. A release must eventually stop gripping the thing you keep handing to God and taking back by night. The first response God recognizes is the honest yes. This is the yes that does not pretend to be fearless. It simply stops requiring fear to disappear before obedience begins. It says, Father, I agree with the step you have shown me. I will move with the measure of light I have. An honest yes may look small from the outside. It may be one message, one application, one apology, one beginning, one return to discipline, one private act of obedience that no one claps for. But heaven knows when a small yes breaks a long pattern. The counterfeit yes is performance. It says yes loudly, then hides quietly. It makes promises in emotional moments, but refuses the first practical step. It wants the feeling of surrender without the shape of obedience. God is not asking for that. He is asking for truth. If the response is yes, your first step within one day is simple. Choose one action that proves agreement, not the whole journey, not the full plan. One action. Write it down. Pray over it. Do it quietly, if needed. Let your yes become visible to God before it becomes visible to people. The second response God recognizes is the holy no. This is the no that protects what God is building. It is not bitterness. It is not revenge. It is not pride. It is a boundary that says, I cannot keep giving access to what keeps pulling me away from obedience. Some of you have been waiting for God to remove what He has been asking you to stop feeding. You keep praying for distance while continuing the pattern. You keep asking for peace while reopening the door. A holy no may be the response God has been waiting to hear. The counterfeit no is hardness. It shuts down love. It punishes people. It turns pain into a weapon. That is not holy. A holy no can be firm and clean. It can be quiet. It can be spoken without hatred. It can protect your assignment without poisoning your heart. If the response is no, your first step within one day is to remove one access point. Stop the conversation that keeps leading you back. Stop the habit that weakens your clarity. Stop explaining your boundary to someone who only listens long enough to find a way around it. The third response God recognizes is the clean release. This is the response that opens your hand. It returns control to God. It stops demanding to know every result before trusting the next instruction. It lets the Father be Father without requiring him to report every detail first. Some of you do not need to begin something or end something. You need to release something. Release the timeline. Release the outcome. Release the need to be understood. Release the image of how you thought it would happen. Release the person you keep trying to change by worrying harder. The counterfeit release is resignation. It says, nothing matters. It gives up in despair. It calls numbness, surrender. That is not clean release. True release is alive. It trusts. It breathes. It says, I am no longer holding what belongs in the hands of God. If the response is release, your first step within one day is to stop one controlling behavior. Stop checking. Stop rehearsing. Stop returning to the same fear story. Stop building imaginary outcomes until your peace is gone. Give God one place where your hands have been too tight. Chosen one. Do not make this more complicated than it needs to be. God recognizes the honest yes. God recognizes the holy no. God recognizes the clean release. 3 responses. 1 heart. 1 threshold. 1 Father. Waiting without leaving. This is where the weight begins to lift. You do not have to answer every question today. You do not have to solve every problem today. You do not have to become fearless today. You have to become honest. Honest enough to know which response belongs to you. If the answer is yes, make it simple. If the answer is no, make it clean. If the answer is release, make it real. The response does not need to impress anyone. It needs to agree with God. It needs to break the loop where your fear keeps asking for more time. Breathe with this for a moment. The response is not meant to crush you. It is meant to locate you. It shows you where you are standing. It shows you what you have been protecting. It shows you where God has been patient and where patience is becoming an invitation to move. Nothing has to be forced. Nothing has to be performed. Let the question settle without panic. Which response has been waiting inside you? A yes, a no, a release. Do not answer from pressure. Do not answer from shame. Let the deep place speak. God is not asking for a loud voice. He is asking for an undivided heart. He can work with trembling. He can work with tears. He can work with a whispered prayer from someone who finally stops pretending they do not know what the next step is. The silence after conviction can be sacred. It gives the soul room to stop defending itself. It gives truth room to rise without being rushed. It gives your fear room to be seen, while your spirit remembers that fear is not the final authority in you. And in that quiet, the door remains. The handle is still on your side. The Father is still near. The response is becoming clearer, not because every detail has appeared, but because the hidden argument inside you is losing its power. The next truth is practical. The answer cannot stay only in your heart. It must take shape. A yes must become one step. A no must become one boundary. A release must become one open hand. That is how the response stops being theory and becomes the key. The answer cannot stay only in your heart. It must take shape. A yes must become one step. A no must become one boundary. A release must become one open hand. That is how the response stops being theory and becomes the key. Chosen one, God is not asking you to solve the whole road today. He is asking for one faithful step, not the full plan, not the perfect announcement, not a public performance. One step that proves your spirit has stopped arguing with what God already made clear. If the response is yes, choose one action that shows agreement. Send the message, begin the work, return to the discipline, make the appointment, write the plan, open the document. Place your feet where your prayer has already been pointing. Do not make your yes dramatic, make it real. A yes that never moves is still hiding. A yes that waits for applause is still divided. A yes that depends on comfort is still negotiating with fear, even if it sounds beautiful when you say it. If the response is no, choose one access point to close. Stop feeding the conversation that weakens you. Stop returning to the place God told you to leave. Stop offering endless explanations to someone who only uses your words to keep the door open. A holy no does not need hatred to be strong. It does not need anger to be clear. It does not need revenge to be final. It simply protects what God is building, while refusing to keep funding what keeps pulling your spirit backward. If the response is release, choose one controlling behavior to stop. Stop checking, stop rehearsing, stop trying to manage every reaction before it happens. Stop building fear stories in your mind, then calling those stories wisdom because they feel familiar. Release is not weakness. Release is not pretending you do not care. Release is returning the outcome to the one who can hold it without becoming anxious. It is an open hand before God, not an empty heart without hope. This is the 24-hour obedience step. Within one day, let your response become visible in one small way. Not because God is timing you with cruelty, but because delay grows stronger when truth never becomes action. A small step matters. One message matters. One boundary matters. One honest prayer matters. One quiet act of obedience matters. The kingdom of God often moves through seeds that look too small for the person who is still measuring by fear. Chosen one, simple does not mean powerless. Honest does not mean weak. Immediate does not mean reckless. Let the step be simple, honest, and immediate. Let it be tested in peace. Let it be submitted to God without needing everyone to understand. There is a difference between moving in faith and moving in panic. God does not need panic to prove that He is speaking. His voice can be firm, but it does not have to make you frantic. His instruction may stretch you, but it will not require self-betrayal. This is where the peace test matters. Ask the deeper question: does this response align with the character of God? Does it produce clean conviction instead of dirty shame? Does it call you into truth while still leaving room for wisdom and counsel? Peace is not the absence of nerves. Peace is the clean place beneath the nerves. It may feel quiet. It may feel steady. It may feel like a small lamp in a dark room, not a bright floodlight over the whole road. Fear can be loud and still be wrong. Peace can be quiet and still be God. Fear says, protect yourself at any cost. Peace says, obey without abandoning wisdom. Fear rushes or freezes. Peace gives enough light for the next faithful movement. The fear test is different. Does the thought make you hide from God? Does it attack your identity? Does it isolate you from wise counsel? Does it pressure you into harm, chaos, or reckless choices? If it does, do not call that holy. God does not need confusion to guide you. He does not need manipulation to move you. He does not need shame to correct you. When God corrects, He brings you closer. When fear accuses, it drives you into hiding. So, test the step. Pray over it. Sit with it. Seek wise counsel if the decision affects your safety, your family, your health, or your future in a serious way. Obedience is not foolishness. Trust is not the same as ignoring wisdom. But do not use wisdom as a locked door against God. Do not gather counsel only from people who benefit from your hesitation. Do not ask for advice from those who lose access to you when you finally become obedient. Mary did not receive a full map. She received a word that changed everything. She had questions. She had wonder. She did not have every detail explained before her response became surrender. Her strength was not control. Her strength was agreement. Her response was not passive. It was brave. It was not small. It opened her life to misunderstanding, change, and holy responsibility. Yet she answered with availability before she had evidence that every person around her would understand. Chosen one, that is the shape of surrender. It does not always arrive with confidence. Sometimes it arrives with trembling. Sometimes it arrives while your mind still has questions, but your spirit knows the voice that has been calling. You may not understand the whole assignment. You may not know how every person will respond. You may not know what God will build after this step, but you can still bring him the honest answer that belongs to this moment. The warning has been named. The delay has been diagnosed. The response has been made practical. A yes becomes one step. A no becomes one boundary. A release becomes one open hand. And beneath all of it, clarity becomes the battlefield. Some of you are not lacking love for God. You are fighting through noise. Your mind has been pulled in too many directions. Your attention has been trained to scatter. Your inner childlike clarity has been buried under pressure, fatigue, and years of living in survival mode. That matters because God often speaks with simplicity. He does not always shout over chaos. He often speaks in the clean place, where the soul is not trying to manage every outcome at once. Many chosen ones need quiet enough to hear what they already know. This is where I want to name the support I mentioned earlier, only for those whose spirit confirms it. Not as a replacement for prayer, not as a shortcut around obedience, not as something you must have to answer God. The response is still yours. There is an audio support called the Genius Switch. It was developed around a simple idea. Many people once felt sharper, more creative, and more alive as children before the pressure of adult life trained the mind into noise and disconnection. The product page connects that loss of clarity to whole brain activation. It points to Dr. Roger Sperry, whose split brain research won the Nobel Prize, and it explains how the two sides of the brain can work in deeper connection. The team behind it is led by Dr. Daniel Barone in New York. They created an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence using neural sync technology. It is designed to support whole brain activation so the mind can return to a clearer and more connected state. It is not a meditation app. It is not a pill. It is not a public track with a spiritual label placed on it for attention. It is also not something that does the work of obedience for you. Nothing can replace your yes before God. But for the chosen one whose battle has been mental fog, scattered attention, and the feeling of knowing something deep inside while your surface thoughts keep running in circles, this may be support worth considering. One woman in the product story, a nurse from San Diego, described feeling like life was happening to her. The claim is not that every person will have the same story. The point is that some people recognize the feeling of being present, but not fully clear. The daily use is simple. Headphones, eyes closed, 8 minutes a day. No complicated routine, no long spiritual performance, no need to force a special state. You listen and let the sequence do what it was designed to do beneath the surface. The price structure on the page is also clear. Some colleagues suggested the work would carry value even at $500. The listed price is $49. For this page, the offer is $39 with lifetime access after purchase. There are also 4 bonuses included: a guided visualization from a top-rated creator on the Calm app, A Smart Grocery Shopping Guide, a classic book over 100 years old about attracting financial focus, and a printable 5 Habits infographic. The page also says there is a 100% money-back guarantee. Listen 8 minutes. Listen many times. If it does not feel right for you, the guarantee is there. That matters, because no support should need pressure to be considered. One important thing, if you search public platforms for similar names, you may find tracks that only borrow the language. The actual sequence from Dr. Barone and his team is made available through their direct page, not through random uploads. If your spirit confirms it, the link in the description and pinned comment points to where Dr. Barone and his team made it available. If your spirit does not confirm it, leave it. Stay with the message. God can still meet you right here, because the tool is not the response. The tool can support clarity. It can support focus. It can help the mind become quieter, but it cannot surrender for you. It cannot close the door for you. It cannot say yes, no, or release in your place. The clearest mind in the world still has to answer God, and the most trembling yes can still open a door when it is true. That is the point. Heaven is not waiting for you to become impressive. Heaven is waiting for you to become available. So, return to the response. What is the one step? What is the one boundary? What is the one open hand? Do not look for 100 actions. Look for the next faithful one, the next clean one, the next honest one. If it is yes, move your feet. If it is no, close the access. If it is release, open your hand. Do not let fear make obedience look more complicated than it is. Do not let old pain convince you that every step must feel safe before it can be sacred. There is a version of you that has been waiting for permission to become whole. That version does not need more noise. It needs agreement. It needs one clean response before God. It needs to stop living at the edge of the door as if the handle belongs to someone else. Chosen one, the response is becoming the key. Not because you earned the door, not because you forced heaven to move, but because your agreement lets the next work begin in you. And once it begins in you, what opens around you will no longer be able to define you. The door is still there, the Father is still near, the handle is still on your side, and the question is no longer only what God is waiting for. The question is who you become when the answer finally leaves hiding and stands before Him in truth. The question is who you become when the answer finally leaves hiding and stands before God in truth. Chosen one, this is where the warning becomes identity. You are not only being asked to respond, you are being formed into someone who can carry the response. A person changes when they stop living divided, one part praying for movement, one part protecting delay, one part asking for God to speak, one part pretending not to hear. When the instruction becomes clear, God is bringing those divided places back into one clean yes before Him. You are becoming the listener, not the person who needs endless signs before every step, not the person who keeps asking the same question because the answer costs something. The listener can hear correction without running from love, and can hear invitation without demanding a full map. The listener is not passive. The listener is awake. The listener knows the voice of the shepherd will never need shame to prove authority. The listener tests the word in peace, wisdom, and prayer, then stops pretending that fear has the right to delay every act of obedience. You are becoming the voice. That may feel strange, because silence has protected you for a long time. Silence kept you safe around people who punished honesty. Silence helped you survive rooms where your truth was not welcome. But survival is not the same as assignment. There is a voice inside you that God did not give for performance. He gave it for truth. He gave it for prayer. He gave it for boundaries. He gave it for the moment when someone needs to hear what fear tried to bury inside you. The response God is waiting for may unlock your voice again, not a loud voice, not a harsh voice, a clean one, a voice that can say yes without begging for approval, a voice that can say no without hatred, a voice that can release without explaining every tear. You are becoming the bridge. A bridge must be anchored before others can cross. That is why God keeps working in your hidden places. People may one day walk across strength that is being built in you right now, while you think nothing visible is happening. Your obedience may connect people to hope. Your healing may give language to someone else. Your no may teach another soul that boundaries can be holy. Your release may show your family that control is not the only way to survive uncertainty, but a bridge that refuses to be anchored cannot carry weight. This is why your response matters. God is not only preparing a blessing for you, He may be preparing stability through you, and that kind of preparation requires a deeper agreement. You are becoming the cycle breaker. This does not mean you are better than the ones before you. It means God is giving you grace to answer differently. You may be the first one in your line to stop calling fear wisdom and stop calling bondage loyalty. Some cycles do not break with noise. They break with a quiet decision. They break when one person stops returning to the pattern. They break when one person tells God the truth. They break when one person says, "This may have followed my family, but it will not lead me." You are becoming the intercessor. Some responses are private, but they carry public weight. Some yeses are whispered in a room nobody sees. Then years later they become shelter for people who never knew what your obedience cost. Prayer is not an escape from action. Prayer is the place where action becomes clean. Prayer is where motive is purified. Prayer is where fear loses its crown. Prayer is where you stop asking God to bless the delay and begin asking Him to strengthen the response. Chosen one. This is the final warning inside the warning. Do not become comfortable near the door. Do not build a chair at the threshold. Do not decorate the hallway and call it home. Do not let almost become the place where your calling slowly goes quiet. The danger is not only failure. The danger is a life lived near obedience without entering it, near healing without surrendering to it, near purpose without answering it, near the voice of God, but always asking Him to repeat what He already made clear. You can speak about calling and still avoid the step. You can pray about purpose and still protect the pattern. You can desire the promise and still resist the preparation. That is why God is not only asking what you want, He is asking what you will answer. Not the version you perform before people, but the one who tells the truth before God. Not the version who delays with spiritual words, but the one who becomes available before God. Not the version who waits for comfort, but the one who chooses trust before God. Not the version who needs applause, but the one who can obey unseen before God. Not the version who hides behind confusion, but the one who names the fear before God. Not the version who keeps the door closed, but the one who reaches for the handle before God. Remember Moses. He had questions, he had objections, he felt inadequate. He looked at his own weakness and wondered how he could carry what God was asking. He did not sound impressive at first. He sounded human. God did not wait for Moses to feel powerful. God called him while he still had trembling places. The response did not remove every fear in one moment. It began a journey where fear had to walk behind obedience instead of standing in front of it. That may be your story too. God may not be waiting for confidence. He may be waiting for willingness. He may not be asking you to feel ready. He may be asking you to stop letting unready become the reason you stay unavailable. There is someone who lived this quietly. Think of this as a picture, not a promise that every detail will happen the same way for you. This person had prayed for months about a decision that was already clear. They wanted peace, But they also wanted no cost. Every week, the same conviction returned. End the commitment that kept draining the assignment. Tell the truth. Stop pretending the door was still open because God had not spoken when God had already been speaking through the lack of peace. One night, the prayer changed. It was no longer, "Father, show me." It became, "Father, strengthen me to obey what you already showed me." The next day, they made one quiet decision. No drama, no announcement, no performance. Just one clean act of obedience. Nothing became perfect overnight. The bills were still real. The conversations were still hard. The future did not suddenly explain itself, but the inner war began to quiet, because the soul no longer had to keep arguing with the truth. They did not become fearless. They became available. That is the difference. Fear may still speak after your response. Fear may still knock. Fear may still ask whether you made a mistake. But once availability has answered God, fear is no longer the master. Let this become personal now, not dramatic, not forced, personal. Imagine a quiet place before God, not a stage, not a crowd, not a place where anyone grades your words. Only the Father, the threshold, and the answer that has been waiting inside you. In that quiet place, see the door again, see the handle on your side, see the old delay standing near it, offering reasons to wait longer, see fear trying to sound careful, see the part of you that wants God and still trembles at the cost of agreement. Do not fight that part. Bring it close. Tell the truth. Father, I am afraid. Father, I have delayed. Father, I have called it confusion when part of me knew. Father, I do not want to perform obedience. I want to become honest before you. Now, ask the simple question. Is my response yes? Is my response no? Is my response release? Let the deep place answer. Do not rush. Do not decorate it. Do not make it sound more spiritual than it is. Let it be clean. Let it be true. If it is yes, place that yes before God. Let it be small if it needs to be small. Let it tremble if it needs to tremble. A trembling yes can still be holy when it comes from an honest heart. If it is no, place that no before God. Let it be clean. Let it be free from hatred. Let it protect what God is building in you. A holy no can become worship when it keeps your assignment from being fed to the same old cycle. If it is release, open your hand before God. Release the person. Release the timing. Release the outcome. Release the need to know how every detail will unfold. Release does not mean you stopped caring. It means you stopped controlling what belongs to God. Do not make it dramatic. Make it true. Do not promise a life you cannot live. Offer the next step you can obey. God can work with a trembling yes. God can work with a clean no. God can work with one open hand. For those who know mental noise has been part of the battle, the 8-minute support I mentioned is in the description and pinned comment. If your spirit confirms it, use it. If not, let this prayer be enough. Your response is still the holy center of this moment. Now let the words become quiet. Let the striving settle. Let the pressure fall away from your shoulders. God is not waiting for you with a fist. He is waiting for you with mercy, truth, and a door that your fear no longer needs to guard. Father, thank you for the one who has stayed with this word. Thank you for patience that did not abandon them. Thank you for correction that did not crush them. Thank you for love that knew how to call their name without shaming their wounds. Thank you for every sign that returned with mercy. Thank you for every closed door that protected them. Thank you for every delay that formed them. Thank you for every moment when they thought nothing was happening, while you were quietly teaching their soul how to hear. We release the need for perfect certainty. We release the habit of calling fear wisdom. We release the old agreement with delay. We release the guilt attached to holy boundaries. We release the false peace that only exists when nothing has to change. We release the need to be understood by everyone. We release the pressure to explain every act of obedience. We release the fear of being seen. We release the shame of having waited so long. We release the lie that says, "It is too late to answer God." Let the listener rise. Let the voice return. Let the bridge be anchored. Let the cycle breaker stand. Let the intercessor pray with clean hands and a steady heart. Let the chosen one become available in the place where fear used to rule. I declare that you can answer with truth. I declare that your yes can be honest. I declare that your no can be holy. I declare that your release can be worship. I declare that your next step does not need to be large to be sacred. You do not need to see the whole road to obey the next light. You do not need applause to be faithful. You do not need comfort to have peace. You do not need everyone to understand what God has made clear inside your spirit. May every false urgency fall away. May every manipulative voice lose power. May every fear that sounds like wisdom be exposed by peace. May every shame that sounds like conviction be broken by the kindness of the Father. May God confirm what is truly from Him. May He remove what is not. May He close every counterfeit door with mercy. May He open what no one can shut when the time is right and the heart is ready to walk through. May your response be sealed in peace, not panic. May your obedience be protected from pride. May your boundaries be protected from guilt. May your release be protected from regret. May your yes, your no, and your open hand belong first to God. Chosen one, if you feel led, write one word as a marker: yes, no, release. Not for performance, not for pressure. Let it be a quiet witness that you are no longer pretending the answer is not there. The Father has been patient. The warning has been mercy. The door has been waiting. The handle has been on your side. And now the response has a place to land. God is waiting, but He has not left. He is near the threshold. He knows the cost. He sees the trembling. He receives the truth. And when the answer becomes honest before Him, something inside you finally stops living outside the door.